All right, everybody. Scott Pierce with Yi Gong, and we're going to have some fun here. Talking about the listing presentation. Yi, how was your open house yesterday? You had an open house with one of your lender or agent partners.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
You know what I love about the open house is the agent I was with totally brought A game. Like she bought the open house flag, and I checked
Mm,
all the signs were the right spot on the street because I know the neighborhood really well. I was like, all right, good go. Way
nice,
to go,
nice,
Colin.
nice.
Yeah,
And you guys had actually one of the things that we'll be talking about. You had the flyer in an acrylic stand,
yeah,
and you actually talked to a one of the open house people came through buyer with a home to sell.
right, totally. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
The only thing
yeah, go ahead.
um the only thing we didn't do is showing the 100 plus marketing plan on the screen.
Yeah, by the time we told her about it, it was a little bit
It
last
was a
minute.
bit too late. Yeah.
Yeah, but, in fact, for any of you on the call, well, hold on, we'll get to that, but yeah, that was kind of fun. All right, Cindy, a little bit later, send me your Instagram link, just to your main Instagram profile, and I'll find that post you're referring to. I'd love to see it. Cindy you bring that up on the screen if you don't mind. Yeah. So Cindy did a Instagram story, I believe, or reel with a poll, like we talked about in one of the other uh, trainings that we did. So I can't wait to see that. That'll be awesome. And keep in mind, just the first time you do something, it may not hit or it may not get people engaged with it, but just keep doing these things over and over and over again. All right. Like anything else, it's going to take a while. Your audience is going to get built up. But I'm telling you, it just takes a couple of people clicking and engaging. The next thing you know, you're going to get a listing appointment. You're going to get a buyer working with you, all because they were able to engage with that story. And it'll just build over time. So with that, I normally don't do presentations, but I've been doing presentations lately. So we're going to do one. I got some ridiculous things in here. For any of you know Kelly Wheeler, he and I were just texting a little bit ago. In fact, he was texting me yesterday. One of the things I'll be showing in here. And then I texted him something back and he got all jealous. So I can't wait. Uh,
Can I share something
Marketia.
real quick?
Well, hold on a sec. Hi, Scott. Can you put a link to the training on how to use the media for IG? Yeah, I'll get to it towards the end of the call here.
Okay.
100%. Yeah. But just real quickly, if you go to listingstoleads.com/ whatever the status is, and it does just go to pick just listed. All right. So go to listingstoleads.com/ just listed. And if you scroll down about 25 to 30% of the way, you're going to see a section called Instagram and TikTok, and there'll be some screenshots of what looks like Instagram stories, and you'll see a link there to examples of exactly what I was referring to. And then there's 2 videos right there as well. One for how to do this on Instagram, and then one how to do it on TikTok. So just in case I forget, go to and pending, just sold, coming soon, open house. You'll see examples of all of that. So again, listingstoleads.com/ just listed, open house, / pending / just sold. All right. Yeah. All right. So we are going to share how to get the 100-point home marketing plan in front of people, all right? In front of homeowners in particular, because even today I was on the training this morning and someone said, they go, that marketing plan is a game changer. I hear that 2 to 3 times a week from somebody. And usually once a week, I'll hear from somebody a crazy idea. When we get to the one, I'm going to share what Kelly Wheeler sent me last night. And it's something that I've already done before with some trainings. So with that, let's get to it, because I'm going to get some of you excited and with some of this. So first of all, and this is what you was talking about. So make sure you print the 100-point home marketing plan, and I'll show you where it is. I'll show you how to create a custom one. If you're doing an open house, for example, at the listing that you won, with the 100-point home marketing plan, make sure you bring it to the open house. All right. If not, I'll show you how to create one that you can bring with you. And I put it in a binder along with this. And again, I'll be showing you where all of this is in this call today. We've got the home selling process outline. We've got a PDF guide, how to stage your home for sale, I believe it is, but we'll look at that a little bit later. But having this at an open house, so a homeowner or somebody walking by the table can just pick it up and just kind of thumb through it. Now, you don't want to let them take it home necessarily. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, either way. Another great, pardon me?
Don't.
Well,
have them, scan the QR code and like you can get a copy.
Yeah, and we're going to get to that a little bit later here as well, for sure. Yeah. So here, what you're looking at is a $52 thermal binding machine for quick presentations. This is something that Brian Matheson shared with us in a call recently that they use. I paid $57. It's gone on sale to $52. This would be something that I would think, if you are a team leader, if you're a broker, for sure. But even if you're an agent and you can swing another $50, because you can print the 26 pages. Like, how much would it cost to print 26 pages on a laser printer? Like $5?
Yeah, $8 maybe.
Yeah, $5 to $8. So if you think a seller lead is, $15 to $20, whatever, right, for a seller lead. What Brian Matheson does and his team, and they win listing presentations from this, is they will print the listing. I'm sorry, let me back up. So when expires come through and they got a nice expired in their area, so it's in their farm and it's a good listing that they want to get, they will add that listing to their account as expired, and I'll be showing you how to do that. And then they print up the presentation and they bind it with this little thing. And I think that is so slick. And what he said they do is they door knock with it, and they get listings by doing that. And so I'm going to put that link right here so that everybody can take a look at that a little bit later. I got links all through this thing today because I want to make sure you get it. All right, here's what you was referring to. So this came from another client. I don't know if they're on the call with us today, but he goes, that video that you got in the media library in Listings to Leads? He goes, I took that, I put it on my YouTube channel, and I play that at the open houses, which I thought was absolutely phenomenal. And so I'm going to take this link, a little bit later, I will make sure to give everybody, I'll put all these links actually in a document. So, because it might be a little bit ridiculous to be throwing links at people so fast. So here's what I'll do. At the end of this call, I'll create a document. I'll put it in the mastermind group with all the links here so that you can have quick access to everything. So, but this is so awesome. The link I just put in is a how-to video, how to do that. And this video is 5 minutes long. So you upload it to you'll download it from Listings to Leads. I'll show you where that is. You can upload it to your YouTube channel. I'll give you the link to my version on our YouTube channel. I recommend just take our video description, put that up with it. I was talking to a client yesterday, top agent in the Midwest. And I was sharing this with him. And he was just like, I want that on my YouTube channel, period. Even if I don't put it at the open house. But he does a ton of open houses. And he was just like, I could tell he was kind of like, just his brain was churning, because he was just like, this is so awesome to be able to have a commercial that is 5 minutes long playing at the open house in the background. There's music with it. I'd probably turn the music all the way down, just so it's not distracting.
Right.
And yeah. And, most TVs have, you can get to YouTube on most TVs. And so just ask the seller. Now, if you are borrowing the listing, ask the listing agent if it's okay with the seller that you bring up YouTube, or if they could leave YouTube on so that you could put your video up. Shane also said that, he goes, where he is at, some of the homes don't have the smart TVs. And so he goes, I'm going to bring an extra laptop and I'm going to just play it.
Smart. Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes, that way, if they don't have the YouTube or you can't access it. For example, you could be borrowing a listing and it's not convenient for you to grab the seller's TV. Throw that on a laptop and just let that play. People are going to see it and they're going to look at it and they're like, damn, like that is really cool. And it's like 4 minutes and 58 seconds long. Absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, you know what I found out? No,
Yeah.
honestly, that's why you need to do open houses, because a lot of people that go through open houses, they're buyers, they all have homes to sell. They all
Yeah.
do.
You're
A lot
you're
of
just
them,
at the
yeah.
open house last night.
Two of them have homes to sell. Nuts.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
think about it. When you're trying to generate seller leads, it's not cheap. And to do a 2-hour open house, where if you market it with all the tools in listings to leads and maybe some other things that you do, but for example, the nearby homeowner letter, right? Do the Facebook ad, get the seller to send out the e-flyer and put the post on their page, have the seller put it on Nextdoor, right? If you market an open house with listings to leads aggressively, you are going to get, I got clients, they just, well, like with you last night, you got 2 different people that came through that are buyers with a home to sell. Did you engage both of them or just one of them? I know you said you had a great conversation with the listing agent, or the
Yeah,
agent had.
well, the agent had great conversation with the one of them for sure.
Yeah. And it wasn't even her listing. It was a listing of all things. It was a listing of a client of Listings to Leads. She's been a client of ours for over 10 years. Isn't that funny? So the listing agent is a 10-year client, and the showing agent is also a newer client. And it was such a funny thing. And then Yi here is a mortgage lender partnered with the showing agent. So a very funny thing. So yeah, they took the flyer like I was showing you before, and they had that sitting there. So anybody could just walk by. And if you scan the QR code, again, I'll show you where this is a little bit later. They can download that 100-point home marketing plan. Absolutely fantastic. And so, yeah, my point was that the open houses is you could easily get, and I know Gordon, he's gotten a couple listing presentations from multiple open houses.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I mean, come on. That is absolutely nuts. So, to be able to, you want to generate seller leads, and I get that. But to take what we're talking about right here and implement it at an open house, it doesn't get much better. But we're not doing just open houses. So,
Yeah,
all
we're
right. So
doing the
this is,
presentations.
oh, yeah. Oh, we got so many different things. So this is what Kelly Wheeler sent me. Can you see that? Let me see, pull back. Let me bring it forward. No, a little bit.
We can see on the screen the mugs.
Yeah. Well, so Kelly did it also. He's using Mailbox Power.
Yeah.
And if I click here, and again, I'll give you this link a little bit later. It is a video where I walk through how to do that. So how to do this. You could use Walgreens has a version or has a mug that you can order. Mailbox Power has one. There might be other places. Imagine giving this to a listing presentation coming up before you go on the listing presentation. Maybe there's an expired. Maybe there is a great FSBO in your area that you really want to target. And maybe you did the thermal bind of the 100-point home marketing plan and you gave it to them. You could mail it, you could door knock, and it's been a couple of weeks, right? Kelly said, I think with Mailbox Power, it's $15 with shipping to send that out. Yeah, which is a great price.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, think you're going to be generating, a seller lead is $10 to $30, and of course, seller leads, the conversion rate of them is not 50%, right? Not 50%. But if I start using kind of some offbeat ideas like this, it's just a phenomenal way to let that homeowner know, listen, I go above and beyond, and I got a lot of cool ways to get in front of people and to get not only myself sold to you, but your home sold to a buyer for the best price possible. All right. This made Kelly jealous. I was like, dude, what if we put it on the back of a shirt? Now, not one specific to a listing presentation, but just the general one that you get from Listings to Leads, which I'll be showing you a little bit later. But Kelly was like, oh my God, I want that. I thought, like, dude, why not? Right? It's,
Yeah.
it's better than your logo. I
Mhm.
would bet you would get, you go to Home Depot on a Saturday morning. Oh my God. In fact, that is genius right there. Go to Home Depot on a Saturday and a Sunday morning. You're gonna have people scanning your shirt because they're there trying to, like, buy stuff to get their home ready for sale, or they're tired of working on their home, and they see you walking down the aisle with that shirt on. They're gonna be like, "Yo, stop! I need I need to scan your back." So yeah, I think that would be, and you don't even have to do the image of a property. Although you could just do the text and put the QR code kind of like maybe middle, right below the
Mm,
text.
that's funny.
Right. I think there's a number of different ways you could execute that idea, but I think that is so awesome. All right. Now he didn't respond to the next one yet. Let me see if he did. No, no. Oh no, he did. He gave me a heart on the next one. A baseball cap. Do you like that? Scan the QR code to see the complete marketing plan to get your home sold.
That is funny.
Wear that hat, get this hat, and then go to your kid's soccer game, your
Ah,
kid's football game, the volleyball games, the whatever games. And you're walking around with that, put your logo on the side of it, get that in the front. Bingo. Oh my
it's a
God.
free marketing, why not?
Yeah. I mean, once you get the hat, the hat might be $20. That's fine. The hat can last for 5 years,
Right.
and just wear it. Like I said, put your logo on one side, put, your team logo on the other side, whatever it is that you're going to do, how you do your business, and then put that right there on the front. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, that's funny. I just noticed. Yeah. He gave me, yeah. All right. Yeah. He gave me a heart on that one. I love it. All right. Now this is not so weird, a little bit more typical, but a postcard with dynamic QR code. Uh,
Mm,
Also through Mailbox Power, Thanks IO. There's a number of different ones. So when you got a geo farm, and you may have, for example, have used the nearby homeowner letter. Was talking to a client the other day, and she does twice. So just pretty much how I train. So open house, so just listed, or open house, and then just sold. And if it's a good area, or if you've just got a standard area that you're already farming with postcards and door hangers and letters, add this postcard. It's in your Listings to Leads account. I'll show you where it is, and it's phenomenal. No, you don't have to use a dynamic QR code, but the really cool thing with a dynamic QR code is the fact that every QR code is unique to a property, and when the homeowner scans that QR code, you're going to know who they were. So you'll know exactly who scanned that QR code. So you'll know their name, their phone number, their property address, and everything else about it.
so that's the special feature from Mailbox Power, correct?
It's not a special feature, but it's definitely a feature that not everybody has.
Mm,
Like I said, Thanks IO has it, I believe. Mailbox, and I'm sure there might be a few others as well.
okay.
All right. So everybody, how are we doing so far? Are we some of these ideas? I'm telling you, the open houses are an absolute no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. I don't expect everybody to be able to execute on all of that by this weekend, but maybe start thinking it through, right? Get that link to the YouTube video from us. I'll put it up in the mastermind group later. Get that down. It's right, and I'll show you where it is in your account. It's right in your Listings to Leads account, and I'll be showing that to you in a little bit. After this call, download it and then upload it to your channel so that you've got the most professional video, so that all these homeowners walking through your open house, yours or borrowed. The one you was at yesterday was not even the listing agents.
Right.
Yeah, right, for sure.
Yeah, take advantage of a really good listing and just go do it.
Yeah, yeah, right. I mean, 100%,
Mhm.
100%. All right, not so crazy, a little bit more standard. We'll be showing this in the training today, the flip books for the listing presentations. Uh, in fact, I'm going to show you, if you hadn't heard this before, but how to actually do it so that you get the seller nodding their head all the way through to the point where they sign the listing agreement. I mean, it's very, very smooth, very, very clean. And it was something that another client shared with me. And he goes, it's just like clockwork, what he does. The landing pages are really cool. So again, whether it's for let's say you got a listing presentation coming up in 3 or 4 days, you add the listing to your Listings to Leads account. You create the 100-point home marketing plan. Not only do you get the PDF and the flip book, but you get a landing page. And as I mentioned earlier, you can do this for listing presentations, you can do it for expired listings, and you can do it for FSBOs. So imagine there's a great FSBO, there's a great expired, there's a great listing that was just canceled or withdrawn, and it's in your farm area and it's one that you want. Add that listing to your account, prepare these materials, and get them in front of that homeowner, right? Whether it's the landing page, whether it's the e-flyer, which I'll be sharing with you a little bit later, a coffee mug. Maybe I spend $15 and I send them the coffee mug, right? Where they're looking at their
Yeah.
home and they scan the QR code and they see their home on every page in the flip book. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, people should watch the training we did on the expireds, because we would target those homeowners for
Yeah,
those expired listings like over like 12 months period. But
right.
so yeah, so you're gonna rekindle their interest. Like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I think Kelly said he's going to start sending those coffee mugs to people that are a little bit on the longer end. So
Exactly.
not the expireds that just expired yesterday or the day, or the day before, but that are like 30 plus days out that haven't relisted yet.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of a smart plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because most of them are still going to sell. They probably haven't signed something with an agent yet. And so to spend $15 and about, once you've got your template, 5 minutes, $15, and you got something going to a homeowner in your area that is going to be pretty damn impressive. In fact, I think Carrie Thompson, if she's on this call, I don't think she got the listing yet, or there's something that came, but she did it and she was the homeowner loved it. And I
Oh,
don't
really?
know, maybe
The
she got the
rug?
listing. I don't know, but whatever it was, but she did say, she goes, yeah, the seller loved it. They thought it was great. All right, script to call seller leads or homeowners in your database, right? We need a reason to stay in touch with our database. And so the script that we've got around this is really cool. Even if they're not thinking about selling in the next year, the script that you've got in your listings to leads account is compelling enough to make a fair number of those people want to get it. Even though they're not going to be selling, they're going to want to see it. And so we'll be talking about that as well. Think about the idea, and this is something that I did. Add a demo listing to your account so that you've got the general presentation already in your account, but it's not like the same home on every page, and it's kind of a little bit more generic. I would add a listing as listing presentation to my account and maybe use Chat GPT. I've done that. I got a whole listing in my account where every image is from Chat GPT, and you wouldn't know the difference that they weren't real. And just create a demo listing in your account with like 5 photos. And then that way you've got something super clean, very kind of appropriate for your area, right? You can do the images. So you can say, for example, create an image and home exterior image of a $750,000 home in American River Canyon, North Folsom. And boom, it'll come up with something and it'll look amazing, and say photorealistic, right? And it'll give you a great image. And then say, give me the kitchen, give me the living room, give me the backyard, maybe the bedroom and bathroom. And I'll show you one of my listings where I did that. I went a little over the top with the high end part of it, but it looks fantastic. Yeah.
So
All right. Yes,
can
I'm
you
sorry.
take a question?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is from Doa Masua. I apologize if I pronounce your name wrong. So she was asking about, when you add a listing to the listing presentation, they found a photo. Do they upload that photo from Google?
You can. I would go take a photo myself if I have the time and the chance to do that, because we want to be able to tell the homeowner that we are the kind of agent that goes above and beyond to make sure that we deliver a great experience, not only for them, but for the buyers that are going to be coming through looking at your house. And I think there's nothing better because listen, when they scan the QR code in that presentation, they're going to be looking at their house. And I want that feeling that they're going to have to hit them. Like I want to hit their brain. I want to hit their heart. I want it to hit their soul. And they're going to be like, wow. Now, if the image on Google Earth or Street View will do that, sometimes you might be able to do that and just, take a screenshot, and that could be great. But if not, then I would probably go take a photo. But I think Google Street View could be totally acceptable. I just haven't tried it myself, Doa. All right. So with that, let's go to listings. And I'm going to show you what these listings look like, and then I'll show you how to add them. And then I'll show you the general one that you've got available, even if you don't do any of this stuff, because you can use the general one, no problem. I just like to be as clean and on point as possible because I only got one chance. I've only got one chance typically to get that listing. And I don't want them thinking about anything except signing on the dotted line. And the more I can put their home in front of them inside of that virtual tour, the Facebook ad and everything I'm going to show you here, the more likely they are going to be to actually list with me. So with that, let me just show you here first. So you're going to see I've got 3 or 4 listings here. I got a for sale by owner. So I got a FSBO, 121 Tomlinson Drive. And if you're on the FSBO call this morning, we added that via the landing page. That was kind of cool. I got a listing with status listing presentation. All right, so this is a listing this is a listing that I added because I got a listing presentation coming up. I've got an expired listing. So this is a listing that's in my farm area and I want it. I don't want any other agent getting it. I want it. And so I added it so I could get that presentation to them. And then I've got for sale by owner draft, FSBO draft. There's a reason why we got FSBO draft, and that's because sometimes you might be talking to a FSBO homeowner, and we found that if you present the idea of this to them, and if you were just to say, hey, can I give you an example of what all the marketing tools look like and and everything, they're going to say no, like 80% of the time. But if you say, can I give you a draft version that you can just take a look at, and then if you like it, then I can give you the real stuff. It's the same thing, except one says draft and one doesn't. That's the only difference. But in the mind of a FSBO homeowner, you're going to double the number of people that say yes to engaging with you. So that's the only reason we got the status called FSBO draft, is so that, again, when you're approaching the FSBO homeowner, it sounds a little bit more palatable to them. Like it's not such they're not completely beholden to you because it's only a draft. Yeah. So
were you a psychiatrist?
No, but I just pay attention. We've been doing this long enough.
Yeah, that's funny.
All
That's
right.
really good point, though.
Yeah. Well, because I couldn't figure out why would somebody say no? And then I just had the idea of let's reframe it. And that's where the whole draft thing came from. So anyways, I think everybody gets it. All right. So so for any of these 4 statuses, for sale by owner, listing presentation, expired, or FSBO draft, click on the property address. I'm going to show you the tools, and then I'm going to show you how to add them to your account. So you're going to see up here, right below the property address, download listing presentation, flipbook, landing page. So let's go right to left. So here's the landing page. So if I can send this link, like I can send it to any of you right now. I can send this to the homeowner and just say, hey, I'd love to have you download my 100-point home marketing plan to get your home sold. So if I've got an expired homeowner, I could just send them this link, because especially if you're using RedX or MyPlus Leads and you've got all the information, there's going to be an email address in there. And so I can then email them this right after I prepare the listing in my account. And when they get it and they click download, name, email, and phone number, download. It's going to download the PDF version, I believe. And of course, I will get a lead notification letting me know that Janie Casada downloaded the presentation. I might give it a little bit of time to let her take a look at it, to let her digest it, see if she's going to call me first. But then I might text her a little bit later and say, hey, let me know if you have any questions on that presentation that you had a chance to view. I'd love to have a chance to come over and explain exactly how all of these items are going to work to make sure that we get your home in front of as many people as humanly possible, and even more than that, and get your home sold. So that's awesome. So that's the landing page. Again, you got that for expireds and FSBOs, as well as the listing presentation. We got the flip book. All right, so here's the flip book. I'm gonna come back to this in a minute, because this is really great to use in the listing presentation. The PDF one is as well, but it's going to be different for different people.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the download listing presentation. That really should say PDF, because that's what it is. But when I click it, notice it just downloaded up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and boom. And let me just shrink it one. And this is the same as the flip book, but now it's a PDF, so it's printable. Check this out. This might be, so can you see that right there?
Vaguely.
Yeah, I don't know why the camera gets so weird.
But this is just your front page, right? On the
Well, no, what it is
just the whole.
So this one of our clients,
yeah,
he did the PDF, but he did it like it's like 8.5 by 11, right? But it's whatever you call this format. So it's like 8.5 by 11 sideways type of thing. It's kind of cool. And on the back, he's got my 100-point home marketing plan. So it's really cool. So I'm just, there's so many ways of doing this. There's so many ways of doing this. But check this out. So when they go through this, right? Social media marketing, YouTube marketing, print marketing, the nearby neighbor marketing, email marketing, sphere of influence, short form video, right? And this is their home. This is their home on every single page. This is why 2 to 3 times a week, somebody is telling me these are game changers. People just absolutely love them. Right. Now notice that URL. And this is completely customizable when you add the listing. So you can actually make it even a little bit cleaner. Unfortunately, I've got 1200 Riley STR. If I was actually going to present this, I would take out the R and this dot, the best listing, or the world's best listing, America's best listing. When the homeowners see that URL, they flip. I mean, it's just game over at that point.
No stone unturned.
Yeah. And now here we go. So now I want all of you, and if you're watching this on recording down the road, stop the video or just do it. Scan the QR code and imagine you're the homeowner. Watch it go to 500 error. So imagine you're the homeowner. That is your home. You're now looking at your home. And this right here, Shannon Pyatt, who some of you may remember, or may know, I should say, he won EXP's World Listing Presentation Competition or whatever it was, like about 4 or 5 years ago, before we even had these. And what he would do is he would present listings to leads. That was like the big part of his listing presentation. Mm-hmm. He would take the sign writer. So just like this, but the actual writer, like the physical sign writer. And this is great if any of you want to do this. He would bring it into the listing presentation. So he's got the PDF bound, the adults version of this right here, but he'd have the yard sign or the sign writer, lay it on the table, but not even talk about it. Wouldn't even address it. Just, it would be sitting there. And then when he got to a certain point in the listing presentation, like maybe right here, and he would say, go ahead and scan the QR code or send a text. And their phone or their home would come up on their phone. He was like, right there, I would get more listing agreements signed than any time else. right? So,
Yeah.
and now when you're on the flip book, it's all the exact same thing. So I'll tell you what, let's go to the flip book and let's finish this up on the flip book. Because similar to the PDF, because now this is I'm going to share with you a great closing technique in getting the homeowner to start nodding their head. And this could be with the PDF, but I think it works great in the flip book as well. So you're going through it, right? And you're talking about we do paid Facebook advertising. And this is a phenomenal way to make sure that all those people on Facebook, all these people on Facebook and Instagram are going to see your property. We do different ads with different kind of templates at every status. These are time tested, guaranteed to generate results. We do social media marketing, YouTube, print marketing. So you're going to go through here. You're going to talk it up. You're going to practice before you do it the first time. And sometimes we should have a role play on this, but I think most people get it. I've never had anybody tell me they didn't get the listing. All right. We do email marketing, seller sphere of influence, right? Beautiful single property websites and virtual tours. Again, there with that URL for the listing flyer. Make sure you point that out. I'm going to use 1200 Riley Street America's best listing, world's best listing, the best listing. Make sure you stress that, because that's kind of another touch point for the homeowner to just start smiling, right? They're going to be like, oh, wow, I love that.
Like your attention to detail. That's
Yeah.
what attracts the seller.
Yeah.
And
Because
that
it's their
makes you
address.
stand out.
Yeah, because it's their address, and then world's best list. Because you'll be able to select which domain you want. So you'll be able to say, I want the best listing, the world's best listing, America's best listing, beautiful home is another one. There's a few other ones as well. All right. On the very next page, this is where you're going to have them scan the QR code. So whether it's the PDF you're doing and you're flipping through it, or it's the you're on an iPad or laptop and you're going through this, stop and have, because here's the deal. They're going to see this on the left. I'm looking at the sign writer. They're going to also see that phone mock-up, and they're going to look at it and they're going to be like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then they're like, oh, that's my home. But they're not going to register that when they scan it. And this is, I've talked to people, the homeowner is going to scan it. They're going to look at it. They're going to scan the bigger one because it's easier. And then they're going to scan it and look at their home and go, they're going to look at that. They're going to look at their phone. They're going to look at that. And they're going to be like, holy shit. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you're a freaking marketing master. I mean, it just blows their mind.
Right.
They absolutely. And that's why I want to make sure I use a good photograph of their home, and I use this version where humanly possible, because I just want to make sure, man, I want to pull at their, the logical person is going to be like, that is impressive. The emotional person is going to be like, holy cow. Right. So you're going to hit every type of person to go, all right, this person knows what they're doing. All right. Then we go through, another QR code, calling that out specifically. Then we go through. So check this out. It doesn't matter if you do coming soon or not. It doesn't matter if you do open houses or not. What you're going to do, all right, you get to here and you're going to say, and one of my clients, he shared with me, he goes, I tell the homeowner, we don't do coming soon in our market, but in some markets they do. But you want to have your home sold in mid-August. All right. That's June, July. That's 60 days from now. All right. Average days on market is about 23 days in our area, or 45 days, or whatever it is. What we're doing is we're working backwards. So he's like, all right, average days on market is 37 days. It's going to take us about a week to get photographs. And by the way, I already have a tentative appointment for the photographer to come by. Today's Thursday. On Monday, they've got an availability if it works for you, if we do end up signing a listing agreement. But I wanted to make sure that we had that ready. It's only tentative. You're not obligated for anything. But that's going to take about a week to get all of that ready. It's probably going to take you maybe a week to get the home ready and get everything situated. So that's 2 weeks right there. So 37 days plus 2 weeks. Plus, you never know in escrow, something could come up. So we want to make sure we have a little bit of time there. So that there, is 74 days or whatever it's going to be, right? And he actually has a notebook. So he would be writing this down in a notebook. So he's not doing it in his head, right? He has the date they want to be moved out by or the time frame, and he's writing down. And he's kind of doing the math. And the homeowner's like this. The homeowner's like, yeah, right, yeah, yeah, yep, yep. So he goes, so then we should really go to market on July 1st. All right. So July 1st, that way we got 2 weeks. July 1st, that's going to put us to mid-August. And then barring anything weird happening, you can be out of your house by X date. Like, oh yeah, that's great. That's great. That's great. And then we'll do an open house. Now, you may not even do an open house. You can say, I think for this property, we're not going to need to do an open house. But if you are, then we'll do an open house maybe the 20th of June, whatever, right? Whatever date, the 20th of June, right? You got your calendar, right? You got your notebook and your calendar open. So, you're marking in your calendar, right? You're checking off in your calendar and on your book. So we'll do the open house on Saturday, June 20th, and then it'll be active for another week. And then that way we'll build up and hopefully we'll have a number of offers getting ready to come in. We'll set the offer date for June 28th, right? And that way we got a week on market. We did the open house. We gave a few people the ability to come back for a second showing. And then we're going to put our offer date for June 28th. Like, okay, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, that sounds perfect. All right, well, then we're going to go into contract. All right, then your property will go into contract. I will still be marketing your property until we close escrow. I do not stop marketing property because you never know what can happen. I want to make sure that we have as many backup offers as possible, that we have as many people wanting your home as possible. So it should go pending on like a day or two after we accept offers, barring any negotiations with a 30-day escrow. We should be sold by, September 1st. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Right. And you got the listing agreement, and don't even go to this page. Just right there, give them the listing agreement and tell them, as you can see by looking at your phone, I am ready to get your home marketed and get it sold. Does that make sense for everybody? Mm-hmm. Super easy way to present this when you are in a listing presentation. Your goal is just to get this in front of as many people as possible. Mm-hmm. That is, in fact, we're going to go through some of the ways of doing that. But any quick questions here before I keep going? Doa has a question.
Yeah, can you go to that sign writer? Explain to Doa the text like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll just do this. When you're in your account, so here's my listing, 1200 Riley Street listing presentation. You have, right, there's text IVR with listings to leads. Depending on when you signed up, it's either with your account already, or you can sign up for it, or you may already have it. But right here, sign writers. Let me show this to you. So you can order them from us. It's not even, it's like from a company called Dirt Cheap Signs. You can download the file and get it printed locally from somebody. And let's give it a second here. And so, Doa, hopefully this will answer your question. Let me know if not. But so everybody else, are you clear on what we're doing so far? Let me get a yes if you are. Yeah, I don't know why this page sometimes takes a little bit to load because there's too many templates.
All of numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Here we go. So this 10002. So text. If you were to text that number, you would get the single property website up. And so that number stays in my listings to leads account. So when I sell this home, if I list it and I sell it, I can reassign the 10002 to another listing. And so that way, when I got this sign writer, in fact, I want to order one of these. I want to have one of these.
Okay.
So when I've got this sign writer, I don't know too many other people that take the sign writer like that to a listing presentation, but I think that'd be awesome. Shannon Pye did. He literally won number one, first place at EXP. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. for their listing appointment thing, whatever it was, presentation. And this was a major part of it. So my point is, once you sell the listing, I can then transfer that number to another listing and then just take the sign writer to my next listing, to my next listing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, people do it all sorts of ways. So I would just role play a couple of times to see what's more comfortable for you. Because if you got an iPad and you're comfortable flipping through it, great. You may or may not be. You may want to do it on a laptop, right? Or you may want to print. I don't have a copy with me right here, but you may want to print and bind it and just kind of flip through it with them. But what I would do is I would model it out and role play with somebody ahead of time, because you don't want to get into the listing presentation and start fumbling around with what you're doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anybody want to answer her question maybe differently? Let me bring it up on the screen here. So Doa is asking here about, do we go through the flip book on our laptop and also print the PDF? You can, because in that way you could also leave the PDF printout with them, because you're not going to leave your iPad with them, right? And I think it's going to be one of those things where, they're going to leave it on the kitchen countertop or on the dining room table or their bedroom nightstand, and they're going to leave it somewhere. They're not going to throw that away. And that is a phenomenal piece of my marketing sitting behind doing some really good work for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, real quickly, before I get into some of the marketing aspects of this, I just want to show you again. We looked in the presentation. I showed you that thermal binding machine. And so what Brian Matheson does, right? In fact, I didn't even show this yet. To add any of these listings to your account, listing presentation, expired, or FSBO, click the green add listing button right here, top left, add listing.
And grab.
No, manual.
Oh, manual.
Yeah,
it's manual. Cannot grab.
Yeah, you can't grab an expired listing or a FSBO or
yeah.
a property that's not in the MLS. What you're going to want to do is change that status right here, right? The very first thing, status. It's either going to be listing presentation. It's going to be for sale by owner, right? For sale by owner, or expired, or FSBO draft. All four of those statuses, you will have expired name that you can put here, because that's going to show up. Their email and their phone number. And then you'll just add, right, beautiful home in Folsom, street, basic features if you got it. If you don't worry, it's not required. The only thing that's really required is the street address, city, state, and zip code in one photo. Property description, it's not required. I would throw something into ChatGPT. Hey, give me a property description for, 121 Tomlinson Drive. Here's a picture of the front of the house. And then let it go off and do its thing. Save and add photos. Again, 1 to 2 one photo is more than enough. You don't need more than one photo. And then on the third page, you'll be able to select the domain. So you'll be able to select, like I said earlier, make sure it's 121 Tomlinson the best listing or America's best listing, right? Something like that, because that's going to show up in that flip book in the PDF. So good. So good. All right. Doa, are you good on that? Do you feel comfortable with the answer I gave you? So Cindy says, I just use my iPad, but I will start printing it out to leave. Yeah, I think, again, if it's convenient, check out that binder. Now, somebody else came into the mastermind group or somewhere else. She didn't like the way that thing bound. And so they did a spiral binder. When you go to Amazon, there's a number of different types.
Methods. Yeah.
Yeah, methods. Yeah. The one I did is I just printed it up, 3-hole punched it, and then I went to Office Depot or something. The problem with that, though, is that cover is like $15 by itself, and that's a little bit pricey. I'm not that, I'm not throwing down that much money, but some of you may have Some of you may be better than me. All right, let's go to listing presentation. So there is a tab on the listings dashboard called listing presentation. And here you're going to see a bunch of items down this list. There's a landing page. I'm just going to click and then we'll come back to them. And I'm going to try to stay within the next like 15 minutes. We're not going to go past five after. There's a general flip book. There is a pre-listing packet. So this is a 4-page version, a very abbreviated version. This could be something that you prepare and you send it to them ahead of time and say, hey, this is just a summary of my marketing that you can take a look at. So if you do kind of any like a pre-package to the people, this would be great for that. You can download it. And it's, like I said, a 4-page version of the 26-pager. Property marketing plan. This is the general 26-pager. So this is the same thing as we saw under listing presentation, expired, or FSBO, but this is the general one. So it's phenomenal. It works great, but it's just not as clean as the one that you prepare for a specific property. A little bit that you should understand here, it says introduction. This is where you put in your introduction, or the about me, and it says view example, and you can see what that looks like. So this is my team name from my profile, and then that's all the text right there, and that text is coming from this pop-up right here. So that is the introduction, right? And notice it says suggested listing presentation structure. So it's introduction, your CMA, the property marketing plan, that's the 26-pager, so that's download. So again, it's the same thing, but now it's using more random photos of properties and different things. It is still phenomenal. Home selling process. This is something I would definitely use. This will be branded to your colors. Phenomenal and editable, completely editable. I can click in here, right? Edit as well. Right, see how it sits in the editor. We've got how to prepare your home for sale. So this is just one of the guides. We got over 40 different PDF guides for home sellers, 40 for home buyers. And this is something we threw in there because I think it's appropriate to put in for a listing presentation, because they're going to want to know, hey, how do we prepare a home to get it sold? So I think that could be a great optional, completely optional. And if we keep working our way down here, so we got Facebook and Instagram ads. There's a number of different options here. Notice this looks very different from your standard Facebook ad with us because it's going right to video views to start. Right now I can go to lead ads. It's going to reset because now it'll go to be an image. I could go to traffic. All right, back to video views. If you're going to do this, see it says enter custom audience. If I'm going to do a Facebook ad, I might try to get a custom audience of like all the homeowners in my area, maybe put in my database audience and then run it to that audience. That could be a great idea. And notice video views, daily budget, $1. Now you're not going to get a lot of leads from this at $1 to $2 a day. But what it does do is it keeps you in front of whatever custom audience you selected. Now, if I don't use a custom audience, can I still do video? Can I still do $2 a day with a video view? Maybe I can. Yeah. So anyways, let's try that. Create ad. Let's see what happens. Please enter location. Oh, location. I'll say Folsom. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Let's go to Folsom, California. Daily budget of $2. I don't know if I can even do that. Let's find out.
What
There's
about
a lot of options here, but let's see.
Is any radius, anything on that?
Yeah, it'll be 15 miles still because
15
it's,
miles. So just
social housing
keep it
ad
a
category.
Google.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, the video is being processed. Yeah. So awesome. All right, cool. So we got Facebook ads. You can do a Facebook ad, but I'm gonna tell you what I would prefer you do. You got Google ads. So if any of you are into doing Google, all right, this is all set up again. All you got to do is type in location. I'm not. You could try Google if you want. I don't know that I've seen a lot of people, to be honest, using the Google ads. I don't. So I can't really give you too much feedback on that one.
Mhm.
I would definitely do the social media post, and you can use an image from Canva, right? If you want to, or because you can upload, change media. No, I can't use a video in a post, but I can upload a custom image. We've got, if I type in 100, I think our marketing plan, we got, and there's more images than that available. And again, I can create a custom one from Canva or anywhere else I want. This is all right. The things I would 100% do, I would be doing a short form video every month of this right here. And that's why we train on this every single month. I would take the fact that we're doing a training on this as your sign to record this video, and every month re-record it and get a little bit better, a little bit better. The reason I love this, let's go through it real quickly here. So imagine I'm doing a video, right? Are you
Mhm.
considering selling your Folsom area home in this changing market, but afraid you won't get top dollar? If so, DM or comment below to get our 100-point home marketing plan to see how we can get your home sold for top dollar and as fast and stress-free as possible. Learn how we get your home in front of and shown to more buyers and get it sold that you can move on with your life. We'll ensure your property is exposed to a wider audience of potential buyers across all platforms, sold quickly at a premium price, and handled with minimum stress, allowing you to move forward in life smoothly. So just DM below, just DM, just DM or comment below or text me at 888-508-8322 to get our 100-point home marketing plan and get your home sold for more money faster. Paraphrase it, use it word for word. You could be holding it. You could be at a property with it. You see Leo's videos in the mastermind group. He's come a long way, that guy. It's fun, right? Watching him do all these crazy videos. There was another guy that got in there. I haven't seen a video from him in about a week or so, but yeah, did you see that video the guy did where he was like the HOA Karen and he like ran up and tackled a trash can?
Yeah.
And he's like, "You can't leave your trash cans out." And he's like, "Oh, if you don't want to live in HOA, get my free list of homes," which I thought was kind of
I
smart.
thought it was yeah.
Yeah.
Different take.
Yeah.
Do you
Uh,
have any can I ask you a do you have any feedback on people who, run ads on Facebook?
yeah, like
You
20 or 30
recommend
bucks.
you don't
Yeah, but you're looking
recommend
at
it
20 or
usually.
30 bucks a lead.
Yeah, okay.
And so,
I
that's why I'm just like,
yeah,
I can print it up for 10 bucks.
right?
No, I can't go, or I can EDDM, or I can do an EDDM postcard for not very much money. So I
Yeah,
don't know, I just think that there's better ways of my money being
delivering
spent
this yeah,
than
mhm,
$20 to $30 seller leads.
right,
Because
yeah,
listen, an expired is a seller lead all day long, right? A FISBO is a seller lead. So I would spend, $52, buy the binder, spend, I think I priced it, I was like $7 to $10 to print,
yeah,
depending on the kind of printer and everything that you've got.
mhm,
So it's cheaper for me to just print this thing up and hand deliver it or mail it than it is to sit there and try to generate a bunch of leads that may or may not have a closing rate of like, even, I mean, 10% is a great closing rate. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So you're looking at there at $300 when I could have taken that $300 and done a lot of other things with it. So
right,
one of them, here's what I would do all day long: the e-flyer for your database,
mhm,
Again, if I'm using a service, I've got their emails. So what I would do is, in fact, I thought we had, you can change the image right here. Here, let me show you what I would do. I'm going to pop up, and I showed this morning, the idea of it. All right. So go to your email, whatever, Follow Up Boss, Lofty, KV Core, Gmail, right? Even. And I would just do this. I'm just gonna copy this outright. Now I haven't tried this on here yet, so let's see if it'll work. Perfect. All right, so there it is in Gmail. And all right. And all right. Oh. And get your home sold with our 100 plus point home. And then down here. So in Gmail and in all of your email programs, you can do this. So in Gmail, if you want to do it in Gmail, it's in the very bottom right, which is kind of center here, but you get my point. Those 3 dots or vertical 3 dots, click them. And then the second option is called templates. Another window is going to pop up, or another tree will come up. And then go to Save Draft and save as new template. And right there, it's going to give you that. So save. And now every time I have a new lead, right? Could be expired FSBO or a seller lead, right? Whatever. I can just email this to them, and that could be your database. And that's what we're going to get onto next. So I would email this to my database, again, once a month, once every 2 months, maybe. And I would get that to my database, and then I would start calling. Because here's the deal. Now, I love this. Let me see. Okay, give me a second here. Let me look at, I know we have a couple of versions of it. Yeah, okay. So database cold calling script, database call. I kind of like a combination of these. I'm gonna go through this one first. I'm gonna tell you why I like it. So I'm gonna call the homeowners in my database. Even if they're not thinking about selling, that's totally fine. So I will call up and I say, "Hi, Cindy. This is Scott with LDL Realty. Hey, I just want to let you know that we completed a review of real estate marketing for selling homes in Folsom, benchmarked against the best practices across the country. And from this, we developed and created an enhanced 100 plus point home marketing plan to help get Folsom homes sold faster and for top dollar in this changing market. Could I send you, I know you're not thinking about selling right now, but I would love to just send you a copy of that. Does that make sense?" All through your database. They're going to want to see it because you just told them, and this is the key. We benchmarked it up here. We've completed, and here's the deal. That's what you pay me for. That's why you pay listings to leads. We have done this for you. So you can honestly and confidently say that you did it because you've got it, and hopefully you reviewed it. All right. And you might even do other things. That's fine. It's that line right there. I want to let you know that we have completed a review of real estate marketing for selling homes in Folsom, benchmarked against best practices across the country, against top teams and top agents. And we took everything that we learned from that, and we have created an enhanced 100 plus point home marketing plan to help you and your homes in Folsom get sold faster. Again, I know you're not thinking about selling right now, but could I send you a copy of this? Make sense? Everybody get it? Give me a yes. Comment yes if you get that.
Do you still have, we're already 1 hour, 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much good. I mean, here's the print flyers. So again, when you're at the open house, I want you to take this print flyer, print it, get it into an acrylic stand like you see here. And we got postcards and door hangers are right here. So we talked earlier about If you're doing a farm or anything like that, Mailbox Power, Thanks.io, or just any postcard company. But that's a great part of a farming strategy for sure. And then that video, remember I showed you that video that you're going to want to get that onto your YouTube channel? Click Media Library. And from here, let's let it come up. This is the very first video that comes up. So you will be media from L to L. You're going to be here automatically. The green videos will be there automatically. And right here, there's a 100-point home marketing plan, long, short, vertical. Take that one, put it up on Instagram, put it up on TikTok, put it up on YouTube as a short. We got a short one if you want that for whatever reason, but then the long one, and for any of these videos, just click download. Download it to your computer, whatever, your phone, and then upload it to YouTube. A little bit later, I'll get all the links. I don't know if people can hear the music or not, but anyways, 5 minutes of this. Crazy. Crazy.
Something's wrong with your voice.
Media marketing. All right. Are we good?
Well, there's some questions before you go. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So Jason has a question.
Hold on. I can't hear anything.
There's some questions I want to address before.
Oh, I turned my volume down because that music was playing. I apologize.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go through this. Okay, so I'm going to put it up here.
Oh, Jason. Oh, that's wow. Yeah. Send support and mention that you asked me in a training, so that support will forward it to me. Yeah. How long do you need? Well, and there's a reason, because if it goes too long, it'll break in different places, and so we have to. There's a certain limit. So if you got some, like, give me the name of the street. That would be though. Custom audience, correct, around 1,000. No, you can do smaller. I know, right? It used to be 1,000, but you can actually do smaller. And I created a custom audience for a client, and man, I downloaded it from My Plus Leads, right? And it gives me this whole crazy spreadsheet with like 500 columns. I literally uploaded it to Chat GPT, and I said, "Can you format this into and it was a numbers file, 'cause I'm on a Mac, and I needed it as CSV. So I uploaded to Chat GPT, and I said, "Can you reformat this into 4 columns appropriate for Facebook to upload into Facebook?" And I'll show you. If you go to ads, and long story short, Chat GPT reformatted and gave me a download. So in Listings to Leads, click ads. Again, ads over here, the blue create audience button. And here's the format, right? Email, number, right? Number, not phone number, but number that is the phone number. And then first name, last name. And so I uploaded a list of 1,000 contacts. Facebook matched 630 of them. So it's about 63%. Yeah. Right. And it 20 minutes. It was quick. So yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. Any other questions?
Yeah. Okay, so this one I think you already addressed, but
Oh yeah, right. Is it a good idea to all right? Is
yes.
it a good idea to use the marketing plan print out to give to a door knock client who's selling?
Oh,
I think so. Yeah. Or you could use the pre-listing if you wanted to. Just depends on how you want to go. Or you could just door knock with this, right? With that flyer, the print flyer. And if let's say I knock on your door, right? And I say, I knock on your door, and you open and say, "Hey, my name is Scott Pierce with Eldell Realty. And I know you're not thinking about selling your house right now, but we recently benchmarked our or whatever that
Script is. Yeah.
script was. Oh my god, I blanked on that script
Yeah.
for farm, and I would kind of mimic that on the door knocking. Yeah,
Yeah. There's one
and
last
then
question. Okay, go ahead.
I think I answered the question. If you go to listings, there is a 4-page version.
I think this is.
Pre-listing packet right there.
Mhm.
If I click download, I'll show it to you real quick. And that'll download, and there we go. And yeah, 4 pages. So 1, 2, and I'll bring it in. So there's page 2. For most agents, this is their entire marketing part of their presentation. For most agents, this is about as far as they get into the marketing they do. And this is just 1 page. Yeah. So page 3 and then page 4. Yep. All right. Listen, everybody, thank you so much for joining us as always. Don't forget. Yes.
Sorry, there's one last question there. I think that's an interesting question.
What is it?
Doa says, I worry some clients may give the word to another agent.
I don't even see. Where does it say that?
It's on the
I
screen.
see. I worry some clients may give the work. Oh, nah, yeah. I had
This is like a worry about your privacy when you're on internet. So
yeah, nah, don't worry about that. I
yeah,
mean, if they were to do that, it's kind of slimy, and I wouldn't want to work with them anyways. I mean, no, that's a kind of a cute, not very satisfying answer to that kind of a thing, but it's not going to happen. That's one of those things. We had a client that came in the mastermind group the other day, and he goes, well, but if you add the expired, then someone's going to, I'm like, dude,
don't worry about that.
has ever, no one has ever came back to me and said, Scott, I added the expired and someone saw it and then they went and they got it and no, because they're going to be impressed that you are the one that came to them first and that you
Exactly.
right. Yeah. And if they're the kind of person that would do that, could you imagine them being a client? God, I would want them as a client.
Yeah.
We've all had clients that we wish to God we never had, right? Whether they were just rude people or difficult people, or they're the kind that called all hours of the day. Someone came into the mastermind group the other day and they said they got kind of bummed because their next door neighbor didn't list with them. And then a few other people came in and said, that is the worst thing in the world, is to list your neighbor's house, because they're going to ask you a million questions. You can never go outside, because if they see you outside, they're going to come outside and start asking you, like, do you have any showings? It's on Facebook, isn't it? And, is the email, do you think we should do this? And, God, do you think he's like, God, you do not want to list your neighbor's house or anyone near you physically. All right. So I think we're good. All right, everybody, have a wonderful night. We will see you next week.
All right, everybody have a good night. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.